Imagine needing to cheat to win the World Series. Couldn't be our team. Unfortunately for the Houston Astros, not only did they lose to the Nationals in the World Series, but they've been busted for allegedly stealing signs. Now, according to a report from The Athletic, former Astros pitcher Mike Fiers, he said the team stole signs back in 2017 by recording opposing pitchers while playing in Minute Maid Park. Oh, and FYI, the Astros won the World Series back in 2017.
The evidence is so overwhelmingly obvious and strong and poignant that I have no problem saying that the Astros definitely cheated, period. And maybe they still are. Maybe they cheated this past World Series. God, I'm so happy the Nats won that. The way this has been communicated over the years is that they used a camera in center field, and then they would then transfer the sign from the catcher, 1 fastball, 2 curve, 3 changeup, slider, whatever, and they would just then immediately electronically communicate that, via the electronical communication, would then use an audible sound in the dugout, a trash can, to alert the hitter. If there's no bang, fastball. If there's a bang, something soft is coming. I mean, it's hysterical how choreographed this is. It really is. And, the whistleblower comes from one of their guys who used to play on the team. So even if you don't believe the video was manipulated, somebody's got it out for the Astros. Everybody's so jealous of just how well they draft and develop their players. They can't possibly be this good. That it's jealousy that's driving home this narrative, not reality. No, one of their former players, a pitcher, went out and flat out said, and he told the other 2 teams he's pitched for since, they cheat, this is what they do, fact. All right.
The Astros, after a new article includes allegations that the team stole signs.
The team responding this afternoon. Our sports director, Randy McAvoy, joining us now with more on this. Randy.
Yeah, sign stealing, common in baseball. It's part of the game. You got to do it the legal way, though. This whole story from The Athletic today is focused on the 2017 season and accusations made now by former Astros pitcher Mike Fiers, who was on the team during that World Series run. Now, in the story, Fiers accuses the Astros of illegally stealing signs, specifically during games at Minute Maid Park. Fiers says it's continued, and he has warned his former Detroit and now current Oakland teammates about an illegal video feed Astros hitters reportedly have used that was pumped into a monitor by the Astros dugout that then enabled them to decode signs and use it to their advantage. Accusations against the Astros have continued even as recently as the World Series, when reportedly the Nationals were given a heads up to look out for flashing lights, whistling out of the dugout, and even signs perhaps from the train track operation high above left field there at Minute Maid Park. So a lot of moving parts now. The Astros have responded to these accusations in a statement released just a little while ago. The statement read, quote, regarding the story posted by The Athletic, the Astros organization has begun an investigation in cooperation with Major League Baseball. It would not be appropriate to comment further on this matter at this time. The story also included 3 unnamed sources, guys, alleging use of the video feed. The standard rule in sign stealing, which, as I mentioned, has long been a part of baseball for many, many years, is to not use technology to aid in that effort. Fiers said the Astros were advanced and willing to go above and beyond to get victories. Fiers, by the way, was not re-signed by the Astros after that World Series run, and he says he's currently has a strained relationship with the Astros over recent years as well. He's landed in Detroit and now Oakland.
Yeah, this seems a little more than he says, she says. But
yeah,
obviously have to investigate.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, see what the Astros investigation.
Okay, sounds good.
Does this change your opinion about Houston?
Of course it does, and I don't believe Jeff either. I don't think he's telling the truth there. I mean, it's just my opinion. I have no evidence that he isn't, but I don't believe him. How could the GM not know? Come on. Investigation. Give me a break. He's put together a team and has a system whereby they cheat. And I'm furious about it as a Yankees fan. They're stinking cheaters in Houston, it seems to be, if these allegations are correct. And it's one thing to steal signs. That's not really cheating. If you're stealing signs on the field of play, even if a manager notices something, that's one thing. But if at your home field, in your stadium, you are using technology that's indefensible, how can you defend against technology at the other team's home park? And using that to gain an edge, that is cheating. And if this were college, I would say they should vacate the World Series. That's how serious it is. Wow. Listen to this. Stephen A., remember that year 2017 when our Yankees should have won the World Series, it seemed to me, but lost to the Astros? Remember, they had to learn how to win on the road? Because let's go back. 2-1 Astros in Game 1 at Houston. 2-1 Astros at Game 2 in Houston. Yankees lost 2 one-run games to a cheating team who's stealing signs. You mean to tell me that can't be the difference in a one-run game? What happened when it moved back to Yankee Stadium and the Astros didn't have their cheating advantage, if it's true they were cheating? 8-1 Yankees. They got curb stomped, the Astros. 6-4 Yankees. 5-0 Yankees. So the Yankees beat them down. They were clearly the better team till they went back to Houston and lost 2 more.
I'm in Houston, Texas right now getting ready to do my show, and then after that watch the Clippers go up against the Houston Rockets. And I sincerely hope that Houston Astros officials are smart enough not to show their face in the arena at the Toyota Center tonight, or any place else in Houston for that matter, because this organization is rapidly becoming a national embarrassment. Recognized for the level of talent that they obviously have, considered to be an incredibly elite team who most people believe should have found a way to win this World Series, maybe if you get Garrett Cole out of the bullpen, Mr. A.J. Hinch. The bottom line is, when you look at the Houston Astros, let's count the ways. Clearly, the Houston Astros appear to be a franchise devoid of principles, devoid of decency to some degree. They don't mind having abusers on their roster. They don't mind cheating, stealing signals, using technology to do it if the reports are indeed true, which we don't know. For you to be a Major League Baseball franchise, and we know America's national pastime is associated with such etiquette, no matter how much of a joke people may think that is, they try to pride themselves on being so keenly associated with etiquette to the point that you got a Hall of Famer in Pete Rose that should have been in the Hall of Fame that you've kept out all of these years because he gambled as a manager but not as a player, all of this other stuff.
There is an absence of ethics, or at least a willingness to cross ethical lines that is beyond the pale for this Astros franchise.
I would much rather stand on a mound 60 feet 6 inches away from somebody in the bigs. And I would much prefer that hitter that I'm trying to get out is roided up on, horse pills and HGH and any other sort of concoction, black market or otherwise. All right. I would rather face that guy than face somebody who knows what I'm throwing. And there's not even anything to really debate about that. At least the roided guy, there's the chance. It's not a fair fight, clearly, because he's, physically, artificially amped up and enhanced. But at least I know that, if I make a perfect pitch on the black and I'm deceptive in not just my arm slot and my speed, but my location as well, high, low, in, out, then I've got a chance, even Barry Bonds, that is roided up best, to get him out if I put the ball where it needs to go. If I'm in the batter's box and I know that a change or a slant, that's the whole deception of the game. Let me tell you something. There's not a player in the minors that can't turn around the fastball and crush it. And I don't care if that fastball is 96. I start to get up to like 101. That's a little different. But even 95, 96. If said hitter, and I mean A ball, rookie ball, Arizona Fall League ball, if that pitcher knows a fastball is coming, and his time, and he's got and his swing isn't loopy, and his mechanics are just somewhat on point, that ball is going to be squared up, and that baseball is going to be hit hard. All right? Just trust me on that. So what baseball needs to do is act so swiftly and so aggressively to dissuade anybody else from doing this. Here's what I would do. Oh, yeah, you'll get the $2 million fine. That's just a little zing, but that's definitely coming. That's a given. What I will also do is I will now take away not only first round picks in back-to-back years, I will also prevent you from participating in free agency. You can't do anything. If you need a bat, go down to the minors, call somebody up. You need an arm, go get somebody. You want to trade for somebody during the season? That you could do. You are not allowed. You will not have top flight draft equity, nor will you have the ability to spend money and use free agency as a means to shore up holes. What they did was so calculated and so against the ethics of the game. I really don't know, and this is not hyperbolic. I've thought about this all morning. I don't know if there's anything worse. Really, to me, this is worse than steroids. This is worse than Pete Rose gambling on the Reds to win. This is worse than spitting on a baseball or having a little, like there's when you're wearing your glove, there's a little where the leather actually, those little holes where the leather goes in. Like in say if it's exposed, nobody's looking, let me get a little slit. I mean, 2 pitches later, you're going to get a new baseball anyway. But even using some sort of my belt, my uniform, something to make the baseball dance. This is just far too calculated. Far too cunning, far too deceitful. This is ridiculous, man. You know what? If you want to tell me, like I've gotten all morning on social media, everybody's doing it, show me the evidence. You cannot allow, artificial intelligence and electronic tools to infiltrate the game of baseball. You just can't do it.